Hi friends, it's Tracy, and today we're about to do my June paycheck number 2. On my desk, what I bring to do my setup, I always keep like my previous month with me, and that just kind of helps me get some general categories because typically it's about the same. But I also bring my allocated spending plan. And the allocated spending plan is what I set up at the beginning of the month or before the month even starts. And that tells me if my zero paycheck to paycheck budget is even going to work before I even get to this phase. But once I get to this phase, there could be changes that would have occurred that's not reflected in the allocated spending plan. So I like to do that on paper. The constant writing helps me to remember. So I hope that makes sense. I'm not a person who, if I did something in Excel, it would make sense later. Like I wouldn't remember. I would understand once I opened up the Excel document, but I wouldn't know before then. I wouldn't know. I would have to look at it constantly, but the physical act of writing retains it in my memory better. So my paycheck, I'm scheduled to make $24.79.48. I'm a salaried employee, so I get paid twice a month, once on the last day of the month and once on the 15th of the month. My last paycheck of the month is the first paycheck of the next month. And when I learned that that was how I was supposed to do this, that actually saved me from overdrafting my account, because that was the one thing I couldn't get. I would schedule my bills where they came out after the 15th, and so I would cause issues for myself. So my first category after my paycheck is my savings, and I do Christmas and gifts. And per paycheck, I put in $80.57. My second category is for my boys, and it's $60. I think I've said it before, but this is an old savings thing that I did when they were younger, and I just never stopped it. So then I add the two together, the $80.57 plus $60. And it's $140.57. Now the next thing I do is I go across on my sheet, and there's a reason why right now it doesn't make sense, because I'm not paying off a student loan. In this debt snowball right now, I'm paying off my car, but when I'm tackling a student loan, I need total debt, and then I need the breakout per loan, how I'm going to allocate the amounts, and I do it on this side, but total debt is on the left hand side. And I hope that makes sense. So for my insurance, out of my second paycheck, I have life insurance, health insurance, and auto insurance. For my life insurance, it's $577, and so far so good. The company has been covering my deductible, and so it hasn't been taken out of my paycheck. For my health insurance, it's $56.72, and this also includes my dental. My auto insurance is $100.09. I've had too many cases where I counted on discounts and then they didn't happen, and then it caused problems for me, so I don't account it in my budget at the beginning. So $577 plus $56.72 plus $100.09 equals $162.58. And typically this category doesn't change. It always stays the same unless something happens with my auto insurance. It tends to go down. And now the next thing, I keep a general column called home expenses. Sometimes I call it household expenses. It all depends on if I could find my previous month sheet, or if I'm too lazy to go and find it, or go get my happy planner. So home expenses, and I include my cash envelopes in here in this category, because all I do is, if it's a cash envelope category, I just put a little box in next to it, and then I check that off. So the first thing is MLGW, and that's my utilities. I'm estimating $200. The next is my cell phone, and that's through Sprint, and I'm estimating $65. And I'm looking at my allocated spending plan over here to make sure I'm accurately reflecting what I thought it would be. My internet is $145. Now my cash envelopes for like car repairs, and I have it broken out, but I actually keep the cash itself in the same envelope, and that's just to make sure I cover car repairs, insurance and taxes, because like I think in the month of November my tags will have to be renewed, and so the 20 and the 10 together makes a total of $30. And I'm trying to find it on my sheet so I can show you where it is, and of course without my glasses I can't see. God help me. But it's the 20 and the 10. It's the repairs and tires, license and taxes. I like having this envelope. This envelope helps me feel a little bit more secure, because I'm plagued by car issues. The next thing I write down are my groceries, and that's just a straight $150 per paycheck. And so once I do that, I just make myself a little box right here. Doesn't have to be neat or anything. And I have Netflix, which I think is $9.74. I think that's what it is, and let me stop thinking and find out, because God knows sometimes I'm not thinking that well. But $9.84. I don't know about anybody else, but sometimes the older I get, I feel like I don't want to think too hard. It's like, ugh, can somebody do this for me? Gym is $11. But then when somebody thinks for me, I get mad. And that's here. And my last item is my car gas, and it's $40. And I started merchandising or auditing again. I think I have a combo of merchandising and auditing coming up. I got about 5 in my app on my phone, and I will do a video on those, because I would tell anybody that when I was going through, and I'm just checking this sheet to make sure I haven't missed anything. When I was going through and I had no money, that's how I earn extra money, because my schedule is tough with my job. To progress, you work more, but you don't get paid anything extra. So you have to pay your dues, especially when you don't have a lot of tenure. So $200. 65 plus 145 plus 30 plus 150 plus 9.84 plus 11 plus 40. I got 650.84, but I'm going to do that one more time just to make sure. 200. I never trust my first round of adding, even with a calculator. Plus 30 plus 150 plus 9.84 plus $11 plus 40 is 650.84. And I apologize for shaking my desk. I write really hard. And so that's my total for home expenses with my little check boxes for my cash envelope. So once I go to the bank, I check this off once I put it in the envelope, and that lets me know I did do it, just in case I get a little forgetful or I don't know. You know, trusting yourself is always challenging when you go through life and you don't have breaks, and you don't have a spouse, and you know you've messed up in the past. It's hard to let up sometimes, because I always think I'm gonna let up and then I'm gonna do something dumb. And so for my debt category, I have my car loan, my extra car loan payment, and then my student loan. And I did get a letter from FedLoan. So they're about to recalculate my payments from IBR to IDR. And so I have to make up, my minimum payment is $800, but I'm going to do the $900. And I'll have to figure out how I'm going to allocate. I'm going to do $900. I'm going to do the $800 the way they said. And then I'm going to do $100, the difference between what I would have paid at $900. And I hope that makes sense, because that was my budget. So $297 is $200.97 is my scheduled payment. And I'm looking here at this field. And then my extra payment is $424.52. Me likes $424.52. And my student loan payment is going to be $900 right here. And then I'm going to total that up. And I may take that extra 100 and just put it to the lowest one. I still haven't made up my mind. 200.97 plus 424.52 plus 900. Okay, and that's why I don't trust myself. Let's see if I can get this. I always forget the buttons. Dang nabbit. I did it wrong. I knew it. 200.97 plus 424.52 plus 900 equals 1525.49. Let me add that again. $424.52 plus 900. Okay, now I'm gonna take all of my categories and I'm gonna do income minus total expenses. So income is $24.79.48, and for me this is just a sanity check. It just helps me to know it's written down. If I get tired or I have a rough week or something, that I did do the math. I did double check it, and I have it written down that I double checked what I did. And so my total is 24. I'm gonna do that one more time. Sorry. 140.57 plus 162.58 for the insurance category. 650.84 plus $1,525.49 equals $2,479.48. Okay, now that that's done, and so I know I have zeroed out my paycheck. I've spent every dime, every piece of my money has a job, so I can't get crazy. I can't go and have a depression shopping spree, or get anxious at work and decide I'm going to go have some fun, or whatever I call fun, which is weird. I don't party. I'm like the most boring person ever. Groceries is $150, and then I just call this car, and it's $30. Because it's such a small, you know, it's only like 2 envelopes that I'm really physically filling up. I can do the math in my head. That's like $180. And then here, what I do in here is I do the same thing as I did before. I'm not sure if you saw my cash envelopes or my paycheck, my June paycheck number 1. Sorry, that's not my cash envelopes, but I write down the denominations, and so I'm gonna get 50s, 20s, and 10s. And so I know I'm getting 3 50s for food. I'm getting 120, 110. And when I fill out my deposit slip, I attach this to, not my deposit, my withdrawal slip. God help me. I'm tired. But when I fill out my withdrawal slip, I attach this. I just attach it and then drop it in a little chute and wait for the money to come back. And I will park. Either I go in the office if I'm at work, or if I'm at home, I come home. But if I'm running errands, I'll park, use this Post-it to remember where everything goes. Because sometimes I don't have this on me. I'll take the Post-its and stick it in my bullet journal, and I'll carry that with me. I don't always have my happy planner with me, but sometimes I do. But most of the time I don't, especially if I'm at work, because I love my co-workers, but they're very enthusiastic and they like to touch things, and that drives me nuts. But I am now done. And another thing I've had to set up, being a single person and not having anybody to make sure I'm not doing anything, you know, I don't have to check with anybody on anything. I also I don't go to the bank, I don't go to the grocery store, I don't go to the ATM. Okay, I'm not sure my camera cut off. What I was saying is I don't go to the grocery store, the bank, or ATM without this being done. This has to be done first, and that keeps the balance of everything. So if you made it this far into the video, I thank you so much. I hope this was clearer than it was the first time I did, and thank you again for all my subscribers. And if you're new and you would like to consider subscribing, please do so below. I appreciate each and every last one of you, and you have a super fantastic day or evening. Bye.